morning, good evening, good afternoon. Mnangagwa must have been tickled silly to hear this video that has been taking the rounds in the social media. It appeals to his ego. Nothing tickles some of these buffoons, tyrants, than to hear that they are all powerful.
Personally, I don't think the akachibata kuti kunze kwa iye Mnangagwa. Vamwe vese andara akachibata vaka ingano chete ishungu. Mukuru uyo akachibata. Nekuti look at that kwa Mozambique. President Chapo atopindwa. Maskati machena rakacheka nyika. Ndiani mukuru weSADC. Ramaphosa ndo vatomhanya havo kunosvika kunotungamirira inauguration. The same thing akaita pakapindwa Mnangagwa by Kenya, by fire, by force against the SADC resolution. So vakomana they've mastered the art of total disregard of your concerns and your quarrels. So to tell people kuti takachibata kuti dzwi, but tinyatsoona pachena kuti varume varikuita zvavanoda without any consequences, it shows kuti ndiani akachibata kuti dzwi. Udzai vanhu chokwadi, Mnangagwa arikugadzira dendere rake, arikugadzirira vana vake dendere. Ndonyaya ingoripo. ZANU-PF is in the process of being personalized by one person. Msangano nenje ZANU-PF uri kutorwa nemunhu mumwe chete wawe kwa Mnangagwa yakufana kunzi Mnangagwa PF ndozvangosara. Nekuti zvinoitika sei in any normal functional democracy hakuitika nepotism iri pachena iri kuitwa musenge iri kuitwa muZimbabwe. Hasigoni kuwana mwana waGeorge Bush ari minister of something, wana mwana wa hanzvadzi yake iri secretary of state of something, but muZimbabwe zviri kuwanikwa. Nekuti Mnangagwa mukatarisa vana vake matwins aya, uyo anonzi Sean Musoja na Colin vakazvarwa 1987 vana ivava 24 February 1987. Vazvinoreva ndezvekuti musi wa24 February 2027 vanenge vasika 40 years, vanenge vakukwanisa kuita mapresident zviri pamutemo. Rangarire kuti Mnangagwa is a constitutionalist, he is a lawyer, he understands how law functions. Saka it's a buying time tactic, time buying tactic yari kurova iyo. Mutoro wachekuseri papa ari kutorera nyana kuti rikure risvike makore ekukwanisa kutungamira. Right now Shoni is a major president of God, and ari kuitwa matraining akawandisa achipuwa mapepa kuitira kuti panosvika 2027 anenge a fully fledged brigadier general. Vanenge vakachibata kuti dzwi. Then ungatadza mufana anonzi Colin anogara in several board of directors dzemamining companies kusanganisira dzemachina. Matentacles ake arimo gold mining, ariko lithium, and is a very politically exposed individual. Akachibata kuti dzwi, ndo vari kushandidzana naWicknell ivava, ndo mastrategy ekutenga ma-influencers, ndo vanhu vari kutenga ma-celebrity ivava, vakuna napokelo amukadzi wake kuenda kuna naZhakata akazobvuma kutengerwa mota nevadzanyiriri, kusvika kuna namai Charamba vakazobvuma kutambira mota kubva kumbabva.
We can go on and on. Nobody is disputing that Mnangagwa has been promoting members of his family and his cronies into positions of power and authority. But let's not make the mistake of saying Zimbabwe is a democracy. Zimbabwe is not a democracy. Zimbabwe is a totalitarian autocracy governed by a corrupt, incompetent buffoon. One has got to look back at 2017 when Mnangagwa took over from Mugabe. He was cocksure that he was going to turn Zimbabwe's economy around. He hit the ground running with his Zimbabwe's open for business mantra. He was sworn in November, and in January, he was in Davos, Switzerland, at the Economic Forum with a high-powered delegation. Quantity, no quality. They were there to sell Zimbabwe. That Zimbabwe has changed and is ready to do business. And he was so sure that there would be a flood of investors in his work. Of course, we know that did not happen. Investors are a shrewd lot. They were aware of what happened during the coup. That was a musical chair. Yes, Mugabe, the tyrant, and a few of these cronies around him were removed, only to be replaced by another tyrant and his own team of cronies. Zimbabwe was still a pariah state, and he went on to confirm that the following year when he went on to rig the 2018 elections, blatantly rig the 2028 elections. I don't think anyone with half a brain expected him to do anything other than that. Mnangagwa and his cronies had not risked everything to stage the coup, only to hold free, fair, and credible elections and lose power. They were not going to do that. Particularly when they are the ones who had spent the last 37 years rigging elections to help Mugabe stay in power. They're not going to do that. So Zimbabwe effectively had not changed. And how anyone with half a brain would think that Zimbabwe had changed because of the musical chair speaks volumes of that individual's competence. Clearly, Mnangagwa believed his own idiotic nonsense, underlying the very fact that he was just a buffoon. Anyone who thinks that Mnangagwa is consolidating his hold on power by allowing the country to go to the dogs, Zimbabwe has gone to the dogs. Corruption was bad during Mugabe's period, but it has gone into overdrive under his watch. The tragedy is, of course, all this corruption has undermined confidence in Zimbabwe being able to govern itself. And so the economy has nosedived. The regime has sacrificed those in society who do not have the political muscle, notably those in the rural areas, the teachers, the nurses, and everybody else. Millions of Zimbabweans are living in abject poverty. The truth of the matter is the situation is not sustainable. We've come full circle. The 2017 military coup, Mnangagwa and company justified it on the grounds that Zimbabwe's economy was in serious trouble. They needed to rescue the economy. And all they did was get into power and make things worse. So another rescue is necessary. It's inevitable. Now anyone can think that he's consolidating his own power. Akachibata, kuti is naive. Mnangagwa's position is even more precarious than that of Mugabe. Mugabe managed to stay in power for 37 years because he inherited the biblical 7 fat cows and 7 fat ears of corn. Mnangagwa stay in power is not going to be that long because he inherited from Mugabe a thin cow that could hardly stand up, skin and bones. Mugabe was able to stay in power because he used the country's wealth to bribe those around him. And ZANU-PF cronies are loyal to anyone who they believe can bribe them. And as the country's economy continued to sink, the national cake has shrunk more and more. And those around Mnangagwa are beginning to realize that he is not capable, he is not able to bribe them. The vultures are circling, and Mnangagwa has only got to look up and he can see them circling. He knows he's in trouble. Akachibata kuti nchi, chii chacho. Hapana chakabata Mnangagwa. He can, yes, promote his sons and put them in a favorable position so that they could become ministers and even become president. But the truth of the matter is, the people of Zimbabwe are desperate for change. And he knows that he cannot hang on to power in the face of the growing discontent. The economic hardships are such that people cannot ignore it. They know that Mnangagwa has no solution whatsoever to their problems. Indeed, they know Mnangagwa is the problem. As long as you retain a buffoon in power, Zimbabwe's economy will never recover. I think Mnangagwa stays unnumbered. If he can hang on to life and his children hang on to their lives, when the day comes when he's put out of office, I think he'll be very lucky. Will they hang on to all the wealth they've looted? Personally, I doubt it. Particularly considering how much they have amassed. They would want to hang on to it and in the end lose most of it, if not all of it. Mnangagwa akachibata kuti. Yeah, right. Just as he was cocksure of his Zimbabwe's open